Well, hello, welcome again to the CSS Battle. This is another retro challenge, a little less far back in time. When I first started doing these recordings, I didn't do them every day necessarily. And I don't remember what happened on October 26th and 27th, but I did not make videos of them. So, let's do them. So, I was unable to get to 100% for this particular problem, the one for October 26th, will I be able today? I don't know. This one I was. Let's just kill that solution. Whoops. Yeah. I try not to look at them before I redo them. This one I don't have any. I don't think I have any code that's particularly good. So we go look at many submissions and many that are terrible. So maybe with fresh eyes, maybe we'll do better. And which is to say, I'll do better. All right. So let's see what we can see here. We'll start as we do with our blank template and put black in the background. So we've got a few things going on here. This inner curve is the tricky part. Recollecting what I did last time, I feel like what I did was try to do everything as gradients, and for a one like this, I think that's pretty tricky. But let's go top to bottom and see. Just see what we can see. All right. So I think we need a margin of 0 to begin with, and I feel like given the number of elements we've got here, and I think we've got at least 5 elements. If we're going to use an element approach, which I think, given my negative experience prior, will work better. All right, so looking at that, so it's 75 tall, which itself, I think that explains a lot of the trouble that I had before, which was trying to do gradients against that 75, right? So a radial gradient. And so what is the radius of that? Well, it's 50%. Well, no, it's not. Well, is it half of 75, which is an uneven number? Blah blah blah. Okay, so let's do a how, again, code golf is how few things can we do to get this right. So I'm going to do a margin of 0, 0, 0, 40, 5, 6, 7, 8, 100, 120, 150, 160, and then what if I do a border radius? That border radius will be again, well, we still the same problem. It's half of 75. So what happens if I do what? 50%, 0, 0, 0. No, 50%. So those are our goofy radius. So what number do we need? What's the magic number to get a reasonable number? Do we just need a number greater than 50%? And is that a perfect match? It's a little hard to see because of that background, right? It looks like perfect. So just by choosing a number that's greater than half, do we get the correct thing? Maybe. We might be lucky along those ways. So my next decision, the next decision I need to make is whether the next element is this guy, and I think it is. So we just need to do P. Well, he's the second iteration. So adding another, so he's got, what are the characteristics of him? Now, do I need a width? So let's set margins on him to get his width. Will that work? So wait, is it 225? Margin of 225, and then height is 100. 125. Now, that's kind of a goofy thing there. Do I want a display of some kind? So is it 325? Okay. And then our border radius, again, is at 0, 0, 100 pixels, 100 pixels. Could that do it? And then we have more of these that need to be flipped and transformed. And then the flipped ones will add an F attribute to. Okay, so F. And then what do we do with him? Translate, transform, translate, minus 100 pixels, 0. And then scale, and I guess we're just scaling on X, minus 1. Scale X, 1, minus 1. What are we doing wrong there? Minus, that doesn't seem to be working. Does it? No, that is working. All right, so let's do that, and then translate, and move that into position. So actually, the flips are different for each one. So let's F and G. So let's just do F. And even, do we need to set a width of this element? I'd like to avoid doing that. Okay. Okay, so 2, 4, 5, 6, and then a vertical 25, and that gets it into place. Yes, I'm aware of these inner, oh, believe me, I know about the inner corners. Okay, so this is already a little nicer. I think that I was really sweating the gradients last time, and this is a much cleaner way to approach it. Let's see. So what's the next one? That is going to flip, and in this one, it'll be scale Y, because we're flipping it upside down. Yeah. Translate. So that's on the x-axis, and then how about minus 200 pixels? Or is it 200 pixels? Okay. Minus 200. 270. 80, 350, 40, 330, 335, 325, and then 185, 175. Does that align? Yes, it does. As goofy as that may be, that is it. Okay, so this is where we are. So I've got red that I need to put in these upper corners. What it makes me think is what I need is another element. This is the mystery. Actually, we need a better mysterious letter because we're kind of X. We got X and Y here. X and Y are known parts of our coordinate system. Let's make it the mystery I element. Mystery I. And he's going to be black. Background. Actually, let's make him a variable. His variable is that color, and so that background is var B or the default of the red. So that element, and then his margins is what, like minus 100. There it is. 3, 3, minus 3, minus 3. And then let's give him margins to put him in place. Maybe 1, 2. Okay. Is it 5? 5. How about 25? If I do 26, do I see a line? No, 24. Do I see a line? Yes. So 325. And then let's give margins on either side, which I guess is 75, huh? Yes. And then 75 on this side? Yes. And then his border radius is going to be 0, 20 pixels, something like that. And he's got to be taller. Height. Actually, it's what, 75 minus 70, 400 minus 150 is 250. 150. Math, Joe. How does it work? Is that it? That can't be it, and yet it seems like it might be it. All right, so let's variabilize. Before we get to the painful part where we discover that all of this is for naught, let's turn these into variables, because I think there's a cleanliness to that. We might be in the zone, and I feel good about that. But M or this default, and then we can replace any instance of margin because we're using the same element in the cascade for each one of these. -m. And then radius is going to be an R or a default of this, that. And so this is -R. These transforms are not the prettiest things in the world, but I think that they're fine, particularly given the fact that when I did this before, I could not get to a solution that was satisfactory to me. All right. Those are the main parts. So now, is it a linear gradient at like a 60-degree angle? And I will do black, red, comma black, and that's like 60 degrees. Or is it minus 60 degrees? Or is it like 260 degrees? Minus 260 degrees. Let's put some numbers to these. 33%, 0, 66%, 0. So so at 90, what is it? It's like that. 45, it's like that. So what about minus 45? So If I comment out with a traditional comment, that's what I get. So what I'd like to do is get this a little bit more. So what is it, minus 50? Then a little thinner, 40. Or rather thicker at the edges, right? 45 and 70, 45, 65. So that's too far, isn't it? 40. Because the angle is still wrong. 60. 50, oh, is it 30 degrees? Maybe it's more like 30 degrees. Okay, so this is 55. 56, 57, 58. And then 2, 3. So I'll only need a red line that goes through that. So now if I uncomment, then the border radius of the eye, the mysterious eye element, controls it. So does that get it? Maybe. I hope. We're going to find out right now. Hey, I got a 100% match on this thing, which, as I said, I had many, many submissions. So yes, the element approach is correct. A little bit of transforms. You could also use, so if I don't do the scales, where did they go? I'm not going to bother with that. So because I variabilize these, the border radii, I should be, in theory, be able to swap those numbers, right, and make them dash dash r, dash dash r. So for f, which is the primary one, I can make that 0. Now, take the win, Crawford. Yeah, that's fine. I'm going to stop there. Thanks for playing along. Let's see the temptation to optimize, and I likely will revisit these, but again, this is part of the aspect of each bit of code that you write build upon the prior, and then if you go change the foundational assumptions. So once I decided to do transforms, the other variables then flow from that, and the fact that I'm already reliant on these transforms means changing them after the fact means that the secondary, every subsequent decision has to be revisited. So, okay. And I'm content with that. And I'm very happy to have gotten 100% because I was pretty convinced that it was hopeless. I wonder if that's why I didn't record it. I don't remember that being the case, but I was too, fearful to put up one where I didn't get to a 99, where I was stuck at 99% or 99.9%. Regardless, fun. All right, let's do the blank template. And you actually saw the code that I already did on this guy, and it is all on the background. I'm curious to know whether there's an even more efficient way to do it. So this is a radial gradient that's a circle. And it's 2 colors. That's it, right? So, and then by putting it at 50, 0, 0, which is the same thing, and then constraining the width, right? So it's a chunky one, right? So right now that's the auto. Okay, so what size? I guess I have to put that 50%, 50% to get that effect. So I want to change the size of this so that I get at the upper corners or get to the very center of these diamonds. So it's got to be taller, huh? And let's make that a more realistic number, like 80%, maybe 60%. So wider. 60. Oh, that's taller. 60, 80. Wider. 6, 7. And then 64%, 70%, 71%, 72%, 73%, 74%, 75%. And then what if we repeat it? $70, 80%. Ooh. So 75 pixels. 65 pixels. Oh, look at that. 91, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, 78.1, 77.5%. I think I did a border to do this one before, so just to be obstinate, let's do it as a conic gradient, which is at 200 pixels, 200 pixels, and it's, I'm going to use red just so I can see what I'm doing, 75%, so 270 degrees around, and then transparent. And don't forget your comma. So that's the shape. And I want to move that into place. So what, 50 pixels? Under 30, something like that. 150 pixels. And then vertically, I need to move it down. And then it needs to be less wide. So that's what, 4. Okay, so now we can, let's remove this red. So move that over a little more, 35. Okay, and then make this less far over, 3. And is that it? Like I see little dots there. And dots are bad, aren't they? So, is this 78%? Let's submit. Let's see if we get 100%. I don't know. It's close. This is one of those close, squishy. That's 100%, and I'm going to take it and get out of here while I can. It's fun. Super duper fun. And super specific. I'm glad I was able to use percentages on those, on that. And I don't think that is my best. Best is still 710, and you saw it if you screenshotted it on the way in. But I got 100%, so I'm happy with that, and I think that's where I'm going to stop. Thanks for watching along as far as you got. Appreciate you. Have a great day out there. Everybody's having a rough time these days, it feels like, and be kind to yourself and be kind to others. All right, take care. Bye.